Hello everyone. Just thought I'd take a quick video of the base that I built on a online uh, Minecraft multiplayer server. It's a little camp, but the server's set to reset soon, and just wanted to kind of show off what I've done. I haven't been real active recently on this server, but I did have one thing that I built that I thought looked pretty cool. And I thought I'd just show off my camp here real quick to remember what I'd done in this particular server's current season. Got a little stalagmite, a little berry vine farm over here, and I'd started work on a stable to put away all of the animals I have just in quick and dirty pens and tethered about in the lawn area, you might say. Got my nether portal gatehouse here, and tried to make it look a bit like some of the broken portals out in the world, and even had use of some of their mini blocks that they have. There's a number of plugins on this server that aren't quite vanilla, but I like how it turned out. It's a tiny little build, but yeah, it still took a little while to put together. Got a number of different duggies with their armadillo armor, and I tried dyeing them various colors to see what color gave the best gold. And auto smelter, all these things that you need when you get started. Got an armadillo-based XP farm. You may have seen some allays over there in the pile of animals. I eventually would have switched the armadillos out for allays because they have regeneration that works better. I've got, of course, my little starter bunker that I always dig so that skeletons don't kill me in the early nights. I got an incinerator and a stove for cooking on, and just the basics that you need. And it looks kind of nice, made with chiseled tough bricks that I got from going down deep and trying to dig up some of the redstone and diamonds that you need early. Got kind of a little bit of a guest room here at the top of the lava farm. Early on, that's a good source of fuel for furnace arrays. And got a cool little enchanting room that is made with oxidized copper mostly. And yeah, there's a few other things deeper down. They're mostly just mine shafts, though. Got, of course, the obligatory automatic bone meal maker. Feeds it down into that chest. But the things I'm most proud of, you can see the melon and the pumpkin farm. Not the things I'm most proud of there, but on to the things that I'm most proud of. I have a villager breeder. It's just a plain old black box, except it's not so plain a black box. On the inside, yeah, it's all business. Just laid things out in the way that I needed to keep iron golems from spawning inside this box. Don't really want that. Nothing super special in here, just a lot of things that I tinkered around with, trying to figure out ways to keep iron golems from spawning and still have the villagers be able to get to their beds. I've got a number of ideas for how I might improve that design, but aesthetically, real pleased with it. It's kind of got a castle battlements kind of feel, rooftop garden going on. I was a big fan of how this turned out. Ended up looking pretty nice. In fact, if the sun will cooperate with me and get dark real soon, it looks even better at night when those candles are starting to light things up. Just keep the light level high enough to keep any monsters from spawning. Most of the way that I've laid out the bricks does a pretty good job of that, but there's a few places where having those candles and these little bits of lichen help keep things from spawning. But between the moss carpets and the stair blocks that I've waterlogged, to make it look kind of like a little bit of a water garden, it just looks, a little bit like a place where you can grow some stuff, and maybe you can sit down and look out over a pool, and yeah. And then you've got this area here that looks a little bit like a castle battlement, which is kind of cool. Got the cut nether bricks and deep slate bricks and things, tiles. But the thing that I'm most proud of, I guess, is so we got a little iron farm up here, and I'd take you up to look at that, but that's not the part I'm most proud of. What's most interesting about it, oops, fell down there, is that I've got this kind of glass pipeline that takes the iron from the farm down through this pipe into an iron trading hall that I set up to look kind of like a foundry or a metalwork or something, metalworks. And that's what I wanted to show off more than anything. So we'll end this video with that exhibition. Once again, I have all these moss carpets out to stop the spawning of iron golems, so my camp doesn't get overrun with golems. It's also why it's up on top of this roof here. But before we go inside, I'll show you the outside a little bit. You can see the pipe goes in here. There's a water stream that goes down. I'll show more of that when we go inside. But just enough stuff going on to keep mobs from spawning and iron golems from spawning. Wanted to kind of go with kind of like a jungle temple vibe, if jungle temples were made out of tough bricks instead of cobblestone. But tried to vary the block palette a little bit. Not a whole lot, because I didn't have a whole lot of different kinds of blocks to work with. I also kind of wanted to go with this kind of green and gray and black and red, of course, color scheme for my whole base area. But yeah, so we have the way in here. And, oh, look, we have a friendly cat. Well, scaredy cat, I guess, more accurately. But yeah, so the iron from the farm will come down this water stream, and they get pushed along the ice. And the ice is set up to be basically kind of like a conveyor belt. These little villagers are standing at their positions around the conveyor belt, working with the iron or inspecting it, making sure it's up to quality or whatever. It passes along past all of them and ends up down here in a collection chest. And some of it just slipped by right now when I wasn't looking. Bad video making. Maybe we can get another one to come through. I don't know. But we have over here, like a big furnace where you got some guys working on the iron. It's pretty cool. And, fluorescent lighting everywhere. Now, if the game will just send us some iron from the farm, I'm looking up at this pipe, waiting for things to come through. It's part of the reason I made the pipe out of glass. You could see it come through. There you go. You can see it traveling along the conveyor belt. And, the goal was to have, any poppies that come through get sorted out, and then maybe have the iron ingots get turned into iron blocks, and then have those get sent over here. I got the poppy sorting thing working, but when I started trying to introduce an auto crafter to craft those ingots into blocks, there just wasn't enough room in the build to make it work right. So I do have a composter that the behind the scenes, there's hoppers pulling the poppies out and sending them through a composter and then depositing the bone meal there. So I got that part working at least. You can see the flowers go through here, but they don't go through here. and end up in this box. So it's kind of like a first draft, but it was all I was planning on doing with this particular build. I've got enough iron workers here. The poppies get out, sorted out, and you know, by the time this chest is full, I'm really past time needing to trade with these villagers to get my iron out. But anyway, that's a lot of talking about the technical aspects of a build that I just wanted to show off the cosmetics of. But before we head out, call it a video for now, and in fact probably call it a season for this server that is resetting in a few days. Just wanted to show you the candles lighting the rooftop garden real quick. It's kind of nice. So that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you again sometime when we make more videos. Have a good one. Goodbye now.